because I figure the best way to pick up is to start where we left off. And that is my last memory of the 2008 campaign, of which I worked on as an intern in the state of Ohio when I was 16. I promise you I'm still not 16 years old, I'm almost 24. So I'm going to be very excited this time that I'm actually going to be able to vote for Hillary Clinton. So, of course, thank you. Thank you all so much for this wonderful opportunity to be here today to move America and Florida forward in the years ahead of the presidential election cycle of 2016. I wanted to, of course, take a moment to personally thank the Wakulla County DEC Chair, Nikki Barnes, for asking me to be here with all of you today to speak on behalf of Ready for Hillary, and why it is so important after the many unfortunate losses that we Democrats suffered in 2014 that we move forward, we organize, and that we win, and we make sure that Florida goes blue from top all the way to the bottom of the ticket in 2016. In the process, of course, shattering that highest and hardest glass ceiling for women and girls when we elect the woman at the sisterhood of the traveling pantsuits movement that is Hillary Rodham Clinton as the 45th and the first woman president of the United States of America. So thank you so much for being here today. I know the weather is very, very cold. So who in this room is ready for Hillary in 2016? Good. I'm in good company. I know, of course, I am ready for Hillary. Now, who before today has heard of Ready for Hillary by raising hands? Good, so I'm doing my job, good. Ready for Hillary is a super PAC of over 3 million passionate, committed supporters that believe in the idea of a glass ceiling and shattering that ceiling for the world's women and girls. I've worked closely with Ready for Hillary for 2 years now, where my travels have taken me everywhere, from Florida to New York, from Pennsylvania to my new favorite state, Iowa. It's a very important college state. Of course, then from Ohio to Georgia, and yes, even from Amsterdam to Paris and beyond. Let me tell you, Amsterdam and the Netherlands love Barack Obama. I loved it because I could actually say I love my president over there without being stoned to death by Republicans in the state of Florida. It's true. Now, electing Hillary Clinton as president in 2016, it's truly not just an effort on behalf of Americans, but it is a global effort, a shared opportunity and global effort on behalf of the world's women and girls. When we make sure that we press into that unexplored reservoir of potential that women and girls share, when the world's women and girls have every opportunity to, as Chelsea Clinton had said, live up to their own God-given potential. You see, America electing a female president sends a message that is very clear, and it sends a message that is very, very loud. A message that will truly ripple across America and nations all across our globe, that when women and girls are fully able and equal to participate in society and government, not only do women and girls do better, our families do better, economies do better, nations and governments worldwide do better when women are fully represented, have a seat at the table, and have a voice in the choices that the world makes and goes through in deciding how we move forward the ideas that help to shape the fabric of our lives. Now, again, as I was saying earlier, I was just 16 years old when I worked on what was my first campaign, which was the Hillary Clinton for President campaign in 2008 in the battleground state of Ohio. As many of you recall, truly what a historic and energizing and exciting time that became when we had the choice of either the first woman president or the first African American President. And I am so grateful for that primary and the cracks in the glass ceiling that those 18 million cracks had been there and put into place for Hillary to then shatter in 2016. Of course, in the process of that hard-fought Democratic primary for president, we put 18 million cracks in a glass ceiling that has been waiting to be shattered for over 7 years now. In some ways, for me personally, it feels as if 2008 never ended because of Secretary Clinton's unwavering commitment to public service and making the world a better place. And that is why we are all here today. We're all here today because someone or something, or Nikki Barnes, inspired you to get off of the sidelines. We're all here today because we believe in our country and the belief that we must strengthen the basic bargain of America. Now, you know what that is. It's the idea that no matter who you are, no matter where you live, or who you love, if you work hard and you play by the rules, you deserve the opportunity, the same opportunity as anyone else, to make a good life for yourself and your family, while moving forward the middle class and uplifting people out of poverty so we all have a shot at achieving the American dream. This has been the life work of both Bill and Hillary Clinton. You see, Hillary believes in what we can all do together when we all work together, when we fight together to strengthen the promise of America, our can-do spirit, and our ability to meet any challenge and our ability to solve any problem. Hillary has taught me, as I think she has probably taught a lot of us in this room, that when you get knocked down, you get back up and you keep on fighting. That is truly not the only way in which Secretary Clinton has lived her life, both public and private, but it is also truly the American way in which we all go through when fighting to grasp the economic potential and opportunity that America offers in the 21st century. When we get knocked down, yes, even in a hard-fought Democratic primary for president, you get back up and you keep on pushing forward to make the world a better place. And Secretary Clinton has truly done just that. Whether it be Hillary's time working in Arkansas as an attorney at Rose Law Firm, to her time working with and improving public education systems within the state of Arkansas as First Lady of Arkansas, to her time working at the Children's Defense Fund in New York City, which some of you might not know this. I did not know this until last year. Hillary was appointed to the board of the Children's Defense Fund in New York City, I believe it was in 1986, by this woman named Nan Rich. Do we know who Nan Rich is in this room? Yes, she ran. She was former Florida State Senator. I voted for her in the Democratic primary very proudly for governor of Florida last election cycle. But she had worked with Nan and countless other public servants to ensure that children have access to educational opportunities and after-school programs that focus on and nourish early childhood development and the future minds of children and the adults that they will one day become. To then, of course, Hillary's work as First Lady of the United States, with that guy in the video that they called him Hillary's husband, you know? I just noticed that today. Out of all the times I've seen that, somebody had said it, and I thought that was so funny. Of course, where she had worked very closely with the Clinton administration to focus on initiatives that would grow and strengthen the middle class. Remember that, the middle class? While implementing programs and initiatives that focused on reproductive health care, early childhood development, the harsh human reality that is income inequality, of which the Clinton administration, if you remember, went on to raise the minimum wage twice. Because both Bill and Hillary believe that as the cost of living goes up, so does someone's wage. To, of course, that pesky thing called universal health care. Now, I was 4 years old when Hillary Clinton did that in 1994, what they called Hillary Care. Think about that. I was 4 years old. Think about it. Where were all of you? Think about what you were doing in 1994, and I'm 4 years old, and now I'm standing up here preaching about the Hillary gospel from Hillary land. But speaking of which, I would like to applaud rather quickly President Obama and the Democrats for fighting for an issue and working for the American people and delivering on a promise of change that is the Affordable Care Act. You know, I just found this out the other day because it is the beginning of the year. There are more people in the state of Florida than any other state. Can you believe that? That are enrolled in the Affordable Care Act. Can you guess what state is number 2? Guess.
California.
Texas.
Yeah.
It is Texas. Isn't that funny how people
really
vote
is.
against their own interests? Yeah, but it's ironic to me because if you look at the 2014 midterm election cycle, the 6 states that voted to raise the minimum wage went heavily Republican. So we have to have a solid messaging strategy put into place so we can get some Democrats elected across the board and all being at the United States. After her time, of course, as First Lady of the United States, we all know that Hillary went to run for the United States Senate, where she would represent the great state of New York in the United States Senate, where she worked across the aisle time and time again to move legislation forward that would put into place a level economic playing field for our families, our seniors, our veterans, young people, women and children, and future generations of children, while additionally, of course, serving on numerous committees such as the Foreign Relations Committee and working with incoming Democrats in both the United States Senate and the United States House of Representatives to ensure that she nurtured them and that she helped to guide the future political minds of some of America's newest and greatest public servants. One of them being this man who was elected as a senator from Illinois, Barack Obama, which then leads me to the presidential campaign of 2008. Having worked on that presidential campaign and seeing Hillary grow as not just a candidate, but as a person, and seeing her heart fully in it, I know that Hillary truly never forgot where she came from, of course being a product of the middle class, and fighting for and championing the core democratic principles and values that we all stand for in this room today. Although our campaign, of course, had fell short of our ultimate goal, Hillary brushed herself off, and she worked harder than anyone else, President Clinton included, having campaigned for Senator Obama at the time 73 times to ensure that we elected Barack Obama as the 44th President of the United States of America. Of course, upon President Obama's election in 2008, Hillary in return would become the 67th Secretary of State, where she would help to restore our standing in the world and restore the trust that had been battered and broken by the Bush administration. Now, nobody in this room wants to see another Bush in the White House anytime soon. I'm sure you can count me among those individuals. Many countries, of course, they look to the United States to universally lead the way economically and in terms of foreign relations and the hard choices that are made in an ever-changing political climate and global world. Hillary would strengthen sanctions on Iran, broker a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in November of 2012. Of course, then there was the opening of Myanmar, which had freed over 2,000 political prisoners who wished to have a voice, a say, and a vote in their government. People in other countries around the world who are dying to be able to vote, which is why after we leave here today, we need to encourage and remind anyone, Democrat, Republican, Independent, and yes, even Libertarian, that people around the world are being killed and are dying for the right to vote, which is something that should be so precious and sacred to us if we only had the chutzpah to make sure that we turn out and vote. Of course, then Hillary had worked with the Libyan people to overthrow Muammar Gaddafi, and she worked with the United States military and the Obama administration to rid the world of Osama bin Laden. Now I say just a very brief little platform of the record that she had established as Secretary of State, because if you do watch Fox News occasionally, like I do, I just like to see what they're saying. It's rather entertaining sometimes when I watch it. I don't know if I'm watching Saturday Night Live or if I actually really am watching Fox News. But Hillary really has accomplished so much and has an extraordinary record of leadership and a record to be able to run on at the State Department. She worked tirelessly at the State Department to implement person-to-person diplomacy while advocating for economic statecraft, which helped United States companies to win business overseas, restored American credibility in countries like Burma and Egypt, and fought for true, peaceful, and pragmatic diplomacy and security decisions and concerns that the United States had gone through in the first 4 years of the Obama administration. All of this occurred while she fought for human rights, women's rights, gay rights, all around the world, and bringing voice to the millions of women and girls all over the world who believe in Hillary Rodham Clinton and what she will truly one day become when the United States elects her as the 45th president. You know, of course, with over 1 million miles being logged and a roster of over 112 countries visited, Hillary Clinton became the most traveled Secretary of State in United States history. So it truly is no wonder why there are so many all across America and all across the world who are urging Hillary Clinton to run for president in 2016. Because America needs to elect a leader and a president who is ready on day one. America faces such significant and trying times and challenges, not just at home, but of course also abroad. All too often, we hear of so many Americans who are struggling to make it in a tough economy that just seems to have been rigged against them. People living paycheck to paycheck, having to choose between rent and groceries, utility bills, and healthcare costs, but still hoping to have a little money left over at the end of the month to care for themselves, their children, and their families. Families, of course, whose homes have gone into foreclosure. Men and women, moms and dads, and yes, even single moms who work day and night to pay the bills, just trying to get by, but hoping that they don't get sick because they still can't afford health insurance. Young people who can't afford to go to college to pursue their own dreams. That is what today and what this movement and a Hillary Clinton candidacy for president is all about. This is not just for me, but this is for the millions of Americans all across our nation. And this is for the countless women and girls all across the world who speak the same language. And it is a language that is universal. There are far too many women and girls who speak the same language of silence. And America electing a woman president will send a message again that is ever so clear and ever so loud, that women must have full, equal representation, top to bottom of government. This is our chance. In just a short period of time, Florida and the rest of America are going to have a very important choice to make. A choice between the guardians of gridlock and the champions of shared opportunity and shared prosperity. A chance to elect leaders who will carry on and put forth a democratic standard that is fair to every American, every senior, every family, every single mom, every veteran, every young person, and every child. So we all have the opportunity to live up to our own God-given potential while fighting to grasp the American dream in the 21st century. This is our chance. This is our chance to elect a leader who believes in hard-working families and that the economy should work for everyone, not just the 1% and not just the wealthiest of Americans. This is our chance to elect a leader that believes that women should be able to make their own health care decisions and believes in the common sense principle of equal pay for equal work in 2015. This is our chance, ladies and gentlemen. This is our chance to put forth so many progressive, pragmatic, progressive ideas into action